Hey there, Knicks fans. How you doing? It's your boy Jonathan Macri with you for another episode of the Knicks Film School Podcast, coming at you on a Wednesday. Is it still summer? I guess it's still summer technically. It's getting late in the summer, but feels like we still have a couple of solid weeks off before we really need to get into the thick of the NBA stuff. So we're doing a bit of a different type of episode today. I'm going to get to what that episode is and who I'll be talking to in a bit. But first, as Andrew Claudio promised you, my thoughts on the latest happenings at FIBA, or at the FIBA World Cup, I should say. For some reason, I thought I was going to have like a whole lot to say about FIBA at this point. And the reality is that I don't know. The games themselves are pretty much like, if you know what happened in the game and you know how it went down, you kind of got the full story. So obviously today, or Tuesday, I should say, as I'm recording this, the United States absolutely demolished Italy. There wasn't really one star of the show, although Mikal Bridges certainly had the highlight performance, but the entire team played pretty well. And obviously Italy was just not up to the challenge. I think the final score was 100-60 something. So be careful what you wish for potential of the prediction that the Knicks, Team USA actually helped themselves by losing on Sunday. Actually, it came true because by virtue of their loss against Team Lithuania, they faced Italy, and Italy, as predicted, was no match for them. So, big time win. Solid games all around, including for Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Those guys didn't really need to play extended minutes. And like I said, Mikal Bridges was the dominant force. So next up for Team USA, they are back in action on Friday at 8:40 in the morning. I'm pretty sure all their games have been starting at 8:40 a.m. And they will play the winner of Team Germany and Team Latvia. Latvia, obviously, Kristaps Porzingis normally would be playing for them, but he is out dealing with plantar fasciitis. Germany are the favorites. I'm not sure how heavy of favorites, but they're pretty solid favorite in that game. And Team USA already had trouble with the Germans once. It was during the prelims, or the games that didn't count. I shouldn't say the prelims. The lead up to the World Cup, they played the Germans, and it was it was a tough go until Anthony Edwards took over in the fourth quarter. So, nobody's writing tickets to the final yet. The concerns that were unearthed over the weekend, concerns that were always kind of there about the USA's lack of size, and those obviously came to fruition against Montenegro and to a greater extent against Lithuania. Those are still there. And maybe they sprout up. Maybe they sprout up against Germany. Maybe they sprout up against Latvia. Maybe they sprout up in the final. We'll see. Long way to go, but 2 more games left, and then they could be crowned World Cup champions. But yeah, those concerns are there. Whether they're going to see another team like they did on Sunday that shoots 56% from deep and starts out 9 for 9 from behind the arc, we'll see. I'm not holding my breath. So I think Team USA is in pretty good shape. And if you really haven't been paying attention at all, and you just really kind of care about this from a Knicks perspective, Jalen Brunson's been really solid. Not spectacular. I don't really think anybody's been spectacular. Anthony Edwards has certainly had spectacular moments, but even he hasn't been perfect, certainly. So I think Brunson's been very, very good, all that they hoped he would be. And Josh Hart, obviously inserted into the starting lineup midway through this tournament. And so far, so good. It's his being in there was not why they were badly out rebounded over the weekend. And sure enough, today against the Italians, they collectively as a team out rebounded them pretty significantly during the relevant portion of the game, at least. So that's the Team USA update. As far as Team Canada goes, they play this morning, as you are listening to this, Wednesday morning against the Slovenian team. And that Slovenian team, of course, does contain Luka Doncic. Despite that fact, the Canadians are big favorites. Given how they looked over the weekend, I'm not so sure that they should be big favorites. I know they came back and won the game on Sunday. And well, it wasn't convincing fashion because it was a 3-point win. But what they did in the fourth quarter against Spain was very convincing. But that was really more SGA just being SGA, and to a lesser extent, Dillon Brooks doing what Dillon Brooks occasionally does. I think the Canadians, I'm not going to say that they're in trouble, but of the two teams, Canada and USA, I think the Canadians are the one that I would be far less shocked if they were upset, whether it's this round, whether it's in the semis if they make it that far, or obviously in the final. Although I guess in the final, if they're playing Team USA, they will be favored. Just because this team the Team Canada continues to devolve into one-on-one ball. And when they get out in transition and when they're turning defense into offense, and obviously when they're hitting threes, it looks great. When the game slows down, it looks really junky. And, these are guys, obviously, you're not used to playing with each other that much. I mean, yes, they've all come up together in Team Canada, and this is very meaningful for this particular group who has been in international competitions together since they were kids to now be able to go to the Olympics next summer. But they still don't play as nearly as often as some of these teams from other countries do in terms of with one another. So, yeah, I mean, I see the seams when I watch them. As for RJ, started out great on Sunday after a 1-for-8 performance on Friday, came back down to earth after the first quarter, got in some foul trouble. You could say he maybe looked a little gassed in the fourth quarter and ended up fouling out of the game. I think they're going to need him. Needless to say, they're going to need him, to win this thing. And he has been, even with a couple of inconsistent games, again, first quarter Sunday aside, you could still argue that he's been their second best player to SGA, either him or Dillon Brooks. So, yeah, we'll be watching that, and I believe if they win that game, they will. I'm actually not sure who they face if they win that game. I should probably know that, but that side of the bracket, I could say, is certainly tough. They'll face someone good. I know that they'll face someone good.